Hello.
Abby, you know how we were talking about like crime pages and stuff like that, how it's more recently that people are actually posting regular updates of mugshots in crime in big
Yep.
cities and local cities. So when you were growing up, we didn't you okay, from what I remember, growing up in the 2000s and early 2010s, I would just see maybe like crime articles on CBC News or maybe like the local channel saying like like woman robs grocery store or something like that, or like two men died in a car accident on Thursday. But there were like no mugshots. It was just maybe like a line or two on the bottom of like a TV screen or an article online. So you didn't have like, is that the same thing that you saw?
Yeah.
There wasn't like a bulletin. And did you ask your parents that actually? Like, I haven't asked my parents. I should probably ask my mom. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. But did you ask your parents how they saw crime? Like, did they how did they get their crime information?
The news.
But what was that back then? Just like newspapers?
No, the television news. The 6 o'clock news.
Okay, but it wasn't like regular, like every single day. Like two men in Constance Bay died over the weekend. Was it like that regular? Like every single week they would tell you like who died or who.
If there were murders, sure.
And in the 2000s and early 2010s, like what did we have? Because like what was the difference between how boomers got their crime news and like how millennials got their crime news? Because it's only like the 2020s or like the late 2010s that I actually saw like social media crime pages. So they
Yeah.
had TV, but like for your crime TV, like CHJ or something, CJH, you guys see mugshots every single time? Like more identifying information?
Uh, it depends. But yeah,
You saw mugshots?
if they know who did it, sure.
I
And
didn't
they
see
had
that
been
on
like, if
CP24
they had
though.
a reasonable, if they like had a reasonable idea of who had done it or they'd already been charged, then yeah, they would show you.
I didn't see that in CP24, and I live in I grew up in Mississauga. Like I would only see what the fuck? I would only see like the name or like general details. Like I said, like woman 20 stole a car.
Well, that's if they don't know who it is, like who it is.
No, well, like for these things, I think they knew who it was for sure. Like, but they just wouldn't release more identification.
Well, that's because they were. That's because they hadn't charged them yet.
No, no, for real. Like I know this because like okay, well, for instance, like my neighbor, um, like he stole like a car. So what they wrote, okay, they actually wrote his name on an article, but like for other people that like did stuff, they didn't really for other people like him, his name wasn't published until like recently. Like during the time that it actually happened, they didn't publish it. They just said like general details. What I saw growing up on CP24 was just general details, even if they charged, even if they charged someone. I would remember, like, it'll say, like, man 28 charged with, like, first-degree murder, something like that, but it would never actually show the details. The only time I would see a mugshot or more, like, identification is if it was, like, a really serious crime or, like, a big crime, like, it would be, like, a whole family died or something like that or got killed. Then you would actually see, like, maybe, like, photos or videos or, like, maybe, like, the name. This was in the early 2010s and, like, 2000s. But before then, without it, for another thing is my dad's friend got murdered, and, like, his name, his name and the killer and the victim's name were not mentioned until now. So he got murdered in 2009, and, like, I checked again, and the actual name only came up in 2019. Like, the 2009 article that talked about him dying was just general details, like, man in his 50s got stabbed to death. It was only in 2019 that they actually published, like, what, like, happened. Anyways, like, so yeah, like, cause, like, what I'm saying is, like, crime is more, like, readily and quickly, like, updated. I don't think your parents had that growing up, right? And you didn't have that growing up. It wasn't like you wake up in the morning and then you just suddenly see, like, all this information about crime, right? And then also, what was it? Um, oh yeah, you know how I was telling you, like, I lived in Montreal alone, and then, like, and in general, for the most part, like, um, I wouldn't really see my parents and my family, like, extended family, all live in a different country. For you, since your family lives in kind of more or less in the same country, even though you lived in Montreal, like, don't they, like, visit you a lot? Like, don't you have, like, lots of, like, cousins who would just visit you?
No,
Not even, like, like, I don't wanna pry into family dynamics and stuff like that, but, like, okay, yeah, I don't wanna pry into that. I guess it's
no,
just, like,
we're
that
thinking,
they didn't visit you.
no,
You didn't have cousins visiting you while you were, like,
no,
away? Okay.
nor would I have wanted them to.
And then when you would actually go home to visit your mom and dad, you
No,
just no, when you would actually go visit your mom and dad, would you visit them, like, regularly, like, every week?
not every week. So when I first got to Montreal, I visit them maybe every 2 weeks or so. But
Oh, that's
then
a lot, yeah.
the later year, like every couple of weeks or so, I would visit them. But probably post pandemic, I would go see them every few months.
Yeah, that makes a bit more sense, like, every couple of months or something. And during this time, you guys didn't make, like, family vlogs?
Yeah.
Sorry, is this, like, the yes as in we didn't actually, or yes as in, like, yeah.
Wait, what's the question?
I didn't really hear you, so I'll just say it again.
What's the
So,
question?
when you went back to visit your parents every couple of months, you didn't make any family vlogs with them?
No, never.
Oh, okay. I guess, like, 2020 millennials don't always do that. I think my last question I wanted to ask you, because this is something that's also causing me another existential pain, is all the time that you've spent in class. I'll speak for myself. It actually pains me how many hours I lost going to lectures, but then I try to think about, what about people who are plumbers? Does it pain them to know that they spent thousands of hours possibly fixing pipes? Like, do they ever look back on their life and think, "Oh my God, I don't really care about fixing a pipe, but I spent thousands of hours doing it just to I don't know, like, cause, like, I'm just thinking, like, I could have spent that time doing other things that now things that I now realize would have been more valuable for me. Like, oh my God, I don't know. Okay, and then another like, I don't want to get too long. Like, let me just breathe. Pain in and out. Breathing in the pain, breathing out the pain. Okay. Okay, so when I was younger, another thing I'm noticing now that I'm older is I thought I knew surface level existential problems like death is inevitable, you age. I knew that. Okay, like I'm pretty, like I told you, I think I was around like 9 years old when I started to realize, like, okay, everyone around me will die one day and I will die one day. But again, it's only like in my, like maybe my 20s, like, um, yeah, that that realization really started to like the emotional and pain that the emotional pain that comes with knowing that like you die and then other people die, it really started to hit me. I don't know why, it was just in my 20s. And this is okay, so the first time I encountered death was like I think I was 19. My unc my mo- my last my grandma on my mom's side, the last she died, and then my mom's sister died like a year later. And I was like around 19 when these deaths happened, but they didn't really hurt me because I didn't really grow up with my grandma at all, nor with my aunt. So those like that didn't really hurt me. Now death is really starting to hurt me.
Understandable.
Like, did you think deeply about death and dying? Because after chatting with ChatGPT again about this, like, this is another regret that hits me, which it correctly identifies. Like, it said, like, a lot of people who are, like, a lot of younger people are regretting that they didn't think about death more deeply because it would have helped them live more authentically or make choices that would have been, it would have shaped their choices. Maybe they would have done things differently or done things more valuable projects with people or things that they know are going to pass away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree because I don't really think about death. And if I had thought about death more deeply, I would have made like I would have chosen different things for to do when I was younger. I would have spent time with things that I knew were completely impermanent because like they're gonna be gone one day, or done things with them to preserve it. Or like, did you kind of like? Well, I guess what I'm asking is like, okay, right now I'm living life with more like intentionality because I realize death is really like it's just it's sudden and it can just happen to anyone and it will happen to everyone. And
Yep.
are you like, do you notice any more intentionality with yourself as an older person, or did you always have this understanding
No,
of
definitely more so with age and experience.
like when you're younger, did you consciously shape your decisions around that? Because now I am, and I'm
No.
frustrated that I didn't do that earlier because I think I would have made more meaningful decisions.
Yeah. But that's just the way of life.
So you didn't consciously shape your decisions around death.
No, of course not.
Yeah, that's the thing that ChatGPT said. It was like people are now
Very
regretting.
few people do.
Yeah, and, like ChatGPT was like, yo, because I asked it like, what are people telling you that they regret? Like the younger people, like millennials or some people who are like under, especially under like 30, and it was like, yeah, they're starting to like realize that like death really like the emotional impact of death. and a lot of them are regretting not shaping their decisions around mortality and death and impermanence, like with their families themselves and like the life stage they're in. And I'm like, yeah, fuck, that's exactly what I'm experiencing right now too. Because it's like, okay, I'm getting older, and I realize like shit, like like this the stupid shit that I did when I was younger, like the choices I made to watch TV or to use social media excessively or to spend or to talk to psychics or something like that. It was all completely bullshit. Like, and I can't get that time back. But I do want to say, yeah, like I remember you did tell me the psychics were scammers. You were right. They were. Yeah, I don't want to laugh because actually it's causing me a lot of sadness. But they were scammers, and it's not the money. It's really my time. They scammed me of my fucking time, Brandon. Fuck. All the time I spent. I remember during the pandemic, I was like, Brandon, like I was talking like psychics or something. I would laugh. It was funny at the time, but now it's like, no, they were scammers, not just of money, but like really, they were scammers of my time. That's really what I want back. They scammed so much of my fucking time. I didn't even know it. I thought like, so it's the also the language tutors. You know, I was telling you I was learning French, and like, okay, so I'm not gonna shit on French as a language because, at least for me as an individual, I regret learning languages at a high level. I even regret learning English at an academic level. I regret learning French, and I regret learning Filipino at an academic level. If I could go back in time, I would just learn these languages, like primarily possibly English, and then everything else, even English. I would even say like I would just learn all these languages at a conversational level and just stop because these language tutors and psychics, these are also activities that I feel like just scammed me. They no, they really scammed me of my time. I was like, I should have used that time and money and gone back to the Philippines and recorded videos with my fucking dying grandpa. Well, because I didn't know he was gonna die. Okay, I don't want to talk about it. Um, okay. And while I'm having all these existential like question, I don't know, like the weight of existence of past mistakes, I have to like deal with like I can't talk loud because my family's sleeping. I have to deal with like uncertainty, like of the future. I know everyone has to deal with that, but it's like okay. Besides everyone like having to deal with it, it doesn't make me feel any better or frame my situation in it. I don't know. And I just don't know what I'm gonna do in my future, and I'm also reminded daily, by people like my parents are you need to figure your life out. Yeah, but I still don't have. I don't know what I will do. Like, and that's like so I have to deal with like death and dying more seriously. I don't want to say anything about it because it just scares me. My own death and dying, people around me that I care about dying, and then like the regrets I have because I didn't know what to do when I was younger to value my time uh, with the people with certain people that I care about. And on top of this, like kind of like weight of like regret of my past and my existence and the time I've wasted and all of this and people who have died, like I'm also having to deal with like the pressure of knowing I have to figure out my life. Like, where am I gonna go? Who's gonna actually care about me? Who am I gonna like? What am I gonna like? What future am I supposed to build? And what am I gonna look back on when I'm 60? Because like at least with AI, I guess it's telling you like the kinds of life state, like kinds of worries you go through as you age. Well, like nobody wants to be like 60 and like struggling and realizing they really fucked up because by then you really don't have time left. Or like you hit that point in your life, your 60s and 70s is when you hit the point in your life when you start thinking, how much more time do I have left? Because you start to realize for sure that you're going to die. I mean, the realization hits even worse that your own mortality I read about on ChatGPT really hits people in their 50s because that's when like their peers start dying of old age. And then by 60s and 70s, that's when you start like just not really giving up, but it just said like that's when you start realizing or asking yourself, how much time do I have left before I die? Um, so I have time, more time than like a 60-year-old or like a 50-year-old. So what the fuck do I do right now? No one's really telling me, similar to the whole family videos thing. Like, if someone just told me if I were like 10 or 12, just make family videos. Like maybe 10 every year or something, or just like if you really can't, if life really gets really busy for you, just make like just make a couple like core 10 to 20 family videos so that whatever happens in your life, you'll have that. I wouldn't have these major regrets now. I've made more now. But again, the only reason I've made family videos is because at least the people that I care about are still alive. If they had died at any point, then I wouldn't have had these things, you know? So now I'm like at a point in my life where it's like, okay, half of my life is kind of gone, or like I'm nearing a point where like I'm hitting middle age. So like yeah, like not really half of my life because I don't know, like I'm just hitting a point where I'm hitting middle age, and decades of my life have gone by at least. I can't rely on the idea that I'm young and I can just figure things out. Like I need like stability and like a future. So what am I gonna do? And so okay, yeah. So besides like the okay, well, let me recap. Let me recap. I'm dealing with existential questions of of death and dying, regrets about how I wasted my life, annoyance, like with it as well, just frustration that I wasted my life on people and things and activities that don't give me value, long term value. Realizing I can't do anything about a lot of it, I can't get that time back. Okay, that's one part. The next part is like now that I have all these regrets, I'm trying to make use of my time now with the people I still care about and preserving it and doing what I can to like learn from the past or whatever. So I can't get back all those language lessons. So I started making my own like I made a few like language lessons for of myself, like just teaching English or me speaking like a different language just for myself. Because I can't get those tutors back where we can record videos together. It's though that time is gone. Similar to like my graduate experience. I can't get back all those classes I took with like maybe you or other people. Those people, besides you, they're all gone. I can't talk to Celia that much anymore, or like Jordan, or like Daniel, or like I don't know, all those other people, and like ask them to like do classes with me to pretend like we're at McGill again, or like to because they're all gone, or like talk to Ian again because like he's also gone from my life. So what I've done is like, okay, I just made some philosophy videos of me talking, and then like I said like to you, maybe like do like a podcast or something Maybe like that's still on my to-do list. Like maybe make a philosophy podcast with like people like in like a video podcast similar to what you did. You know how you did like a philosophy video interview? Well, you did one, right?
Uh,
Yeah, like do like start my own little series at least, like a regular one. Anyways, that's that. Dealing with like what should I do now? Like what should I do now to kind of like correct the past or like how to course correct? And then the third thing and last thing is dealing with the pressure. What the hell am I gonna do with my future? Because like, what have I built for my future? Like, I like I'm getting old. I'm 29. Last time I talked to you about these things, like I remember talking to you being like, "Oh, I'm getting old. I'm 26. I'm 27." Well, I'm 29 now. So it's like, okay, well, build a family and find someone, but like, um, as I'm trying to build my future, knowing like I need to like possibly just like build a family, find somebody like a partner, romantic partner, long term, blah blah, or like get a career. It's really easier said than done, and I've just met people who, like I said, they did PhDs, they just got unlucky and they're unemployed still, or they're house husbands now, or like even people who got married. Now I've seen people who are divorced, divorced with kids, divorced with no kids, not even married with kids, not married with kids, but separated. I've seen people like that now, like in my personal life. And that makes and I've dealt with some of it too. I'm like, Nino dumped me, Glenn left. Glenn was like a friend only, but like he was like a long-term friendship. And I'm just like, maybe this is where I actually want to ask you stuff. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. Well, you know, I don't want to ask, but like, I just want to say, who is there for me? Like, like whenever people like I know people who are divorced. I get like I know people who are in bad situations, and I know people who are hungry. I know there's war. I know there's so many bad things in the world, and I should be grateful, right? But seriously, who is there for me too, though? Like, why can't I complain about these things? Because it's like I'm in a point in my life where like I want to be secure. Like, who's um, like who is there besides like Glenn, who like stayed in my life for so long? No one. Um, Glenn, I don't even want to talk about this because like, well, no, I will talk about it because like, so like Nino is still gone, and I'm just tired, Brandon. Like every day, it's like he's not coming back. Well, the right answer is we don't know. It's most likely unlikely that he'll come back. That's the right answer. But then like I asked ChatGPT about like, okay, even if Neo doesn't come back, why doesn't like isn't it true that like one or two people in your life will at least care for you, or at least care enough about your well-being that you won't to make sure you don't die? And it said like, eventually some people come back. And yes, most people at least get one or two people who will care about them for the rest of their life. Well, no one has come back for me, and no one is caring about me for the rest of my life. So ChatGPT has been talking to me about like, you know, maybe this person will come back if they experience lots of different life problems and life triggers, aging, death, dying, all these things. And that's what makes a lot of people go back to friendships or relationships in general that they threw away. Well, no one has come back in my life. The only person who actually, okay, I don't know about you, but the only person who messaged me, it's like 10, like 7 years later, was that one person I told you about. And that conversation died. You know how I messaged you after not talking to you for like 2 years? Well,
Yeah.
apparently, ChatGPT said that it was actually normal that people, like, not normal, but like, it is like, it is like highly possible for most people that a lot of people will come back into their life. A handful of, I don't know a lot, but at least a handful of people will come back to their life seriously, though, in a serious way, not just like, hi, bye, or like, hi, how are you, goodbye. Not like a couple of short interactions, but like serious interactions where people start wanting to build intentional friendships or intentional relationships, right? Like maybe they'll go back to like an aunt or like a friend that they threw away, or and they'll stay and build more intentionally towards like a more stable relationship because they realize at that point that genuine connection, human connection and genuine human support is very rare. Like you can meet hundreds of people and waste your time dating hundreds of people or talking to hundreds of people trying to find friends only to realize decades later that only one or two people were actually like connected with you, in a meaningful way and will support you or help you. And that's very rare for a lot of people to find that. So that's why like ChatGPT was like when people come back into your life, usually they want to build and they're serious. Well, not for me, because the one person who actually came back into my life 7 years later, it was just a conversation like hi and bye, even though his sister died
Yep.
of murder. And it's like, like no one came back into my life. Like, I don't know, maybe for you, people come back to your life, but like, wow, again, similar to the note what I was saying, like, I guess I'm socially unattractive. Like, damn, like, this is the point in my life where people are supposed to be coming back. Well, no one, The only one who came back was the guy from 7 years ago, and then Nino, and they were both like hi and bye. Nino blocked me. I'm like trying not to laugh because like at this point, like, I can usually easily laugh things off. That's another thing I want to say. You know how I told you, like, I didn't know how I survived, like, in my life, knowing I didn't make any family videos, all these things. One, I didn't, there was a lack of awareness. Like I said, I didn't even know about family videos to the extent that I know about it now. Like, we didn't know that you could do it every single, like day if you really wanted to, and that would be valuable. And two, I, I just didn't want, I guess I didn't want to do it at the time. No one was telling me to do it. No one was telling me that was important. And I guess lastly, like, so if I look back on my life, like, I just survived purely on ignorance. I survived those years using ignorance. Like, and that's like really scary. Like, fuck. Like, I remember this. I remember like an older person saying they look back in their life and they realize they were in dangerous situations and they didn't realize it when they were older until they were older. I don't now I realize like yeah, I didn't realize how like what kind of oh my god, like what kind of like scary and like yeah, the risky existence I was living and oh my all the ways I all the ways I wasted my time. And I think, like, I don't know, like, I don't want to go through my whole life story at this point because it's really annoying me. My God. Like, for instance, if no one, if I died during the pandemic, because I wasn't visiting anybody, and I wasn't visiting anybody when okay, even when I moved out at 18, no one called me, and I wasn't visiting anyone, and I came back home, and I moved out again, but, like, for the most part, in the past few years, no one really visited me, and I'm like, now I'm really starting to realize, like, how that's so fucking dangerous, because I could have just died in an apartment and no one would know. So reminds me of like how like some celebrities, there was a celebrity who died and nobody knew for like a month or something because like her mom didn't visit her for like a month and then her mom like saw her. Well, no one would visit me for like months. Jesus Christ. Like in Montreal, I could have just died in my apartment. No one would know. Maybe you might message me and you'd just be like, oh, she's not responding because she's like busy or ignoring me or something. Well, no, maybe I was actually dead. Like no one visited me. It's actually fucking scary. Like some people might have tried to like okay, I know for sure that like most people probably wouldn't even like bat an eye if I never responded to them because like I lost access to my Instagram account for the past like 4 years while I was in like McGill. I I turned on two-factor authentication and I lost like the phone that I used to verify my like login. So I lost access to that account. And then I recovered the account recently. I forgot how. I think I just had to message the support and the support team and they actually responded. But I looked at my messages. I got like a couple messages from people just like saying, "Hi, how are you?" And like I never responded. And I responded them now and I told them I lost access to my account. But they must have thought that I was just ignoring them or I was like mad at them or something. No, I just lost access to the account. And it makes me wonder now that I had that experience, like people checked in on me just like as friends or just like as people who were curious, but none of them like what if I died? They wouldn't even know. Like I know people who died and they have Instagram accounts and I didn't know they died until like 5 years later, like my middle school friend or classmate. And like if I met if I messaged like I just think like wow, I was gonna message and just say like I was to ask for like yearbook photos. And if I didn't hear from another middle school friend like that he died, I would have just thought he was ignoring me or just doesn't want to respond or doesn't have time or whatever. But no, he died. And I'm like, well, for me, like, well, like I would have just died, and no one actually knows because no, no one actually, I guess, cares enough to like investigate. And you are right. There's like a lot of like there are a lot. I've been searching it. Like there's a lot of missing people who just like they disappeared. No one knows what the hell's what happened to them. And those are the missing people that have been reported missing. So I'm wondering, what about the missing people who have not been reported? You know? Oh, this is might be relevant to you, but did you hear like the past week there was a Carleton professor who got murdered by her daughter?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about that?
Yes.
Yeah, so I read a little bit about it, not too much, but like it just said that like the way they found out was someone asked to do a welfare check, like the police, goes to their house or whatever and checks for her, and that's how they found her dead. Well, like I just thought like who would do that for me? No one's gonna call a welfare check on me. Well, that actually makes me wonder like who was it who actually was the person who called a welfare check on her because it's not gonna be her daughter. Her daughter killed her, and then like she's 70, so I'm assuming like a lot of her relatives are dead, at that point you're 70. I don't know if she has like multiple children or whatever it is, but like I wonder who actually called to do a welfare check on her.
I don't know.
Yeah, like I guess I just bring this story up because like I don't know who would actually do a welfare check on me. And I'm like, do I even care? I'll be dead at that point. I guess like another thing so like I really just okay, yeah. Anyways, besides like as you can see, there's just like every single day, there's like existential problems, there's like career problems, there's like I don't know, finance, there's how build your dealing with your current situation and you're building your future. So now I'm gonna bounce back to my other problem, which is like, what am I gonna do with my fucking future? I have no idea. So I'm like, can Nino just like stop being dumb? And I can't rely on him or Glenn or anyone really. So where the fuck do I go? I was gonna, who came to mind when I was thinking about this? Like, I was thinking of people like Uncle Sean. I'm like, how do they like deal with this? Like, well, Uncle Sean has your parents, but it's like he must have gone through decades of wondering who's gonna care for him. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, it's not like he was guaranteed stuff. So it's like he must have gone through, yeah, decades of his life, like wondering who's gonna be there for me, who's gonna be there long term, what I'm gonna do with my life if I just work at, you know, at the dump, and if I stay working here, like what is gonna happen? Well, I'm thinking of the same. Like, what am I gonna do? I don't know how how people like Uncle Sean deal with these things still. Like that's probably what these people are worrying about. And I'm like, who's actually gonna be there for me? Like my cousins in the Philippines, like I found out recently, like the anyways, they have a little group chat and I had to I actually had to beg to be added into it. They're younger than me. And I'm like, these people are so lucky because like at least for them, because like I never grew up with any cousins. Like I said, it was just me, my mom, dad, and my brothers in Canada. I didn't even talk to them. Like you already know my family dynamics. We just don't talk. We might share the same space. We don't talk. And even for food and stuff like that, there were many days that I just wouldn't even eat because like even for basic necessities, like interacting was just like not worth it. Family drama. But I look at my younger cousins, I'm like, they're so lucky they grew up together and they have this like little group chat. And I looked at the group chat and I'm like, wow, they actually like help each other. Like, what the fuck? Like, like they're like, oh, I'm gonna like I have to go like I just came back from college or whatever. Some of them were saying like, can I like stay over at your place? And some of them were like, yeah, like stay here for a night or two. And then like tomorrow we're gonna go to grandpa and grandma's house, and like celebrate Christmas there. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't have that shit growing up. They help each other. Like recently, I think one of them was like, "Oh, like, can someone pick me up? Like, I got lost. Like, I'm at a gas station. I don't have like money to like get a car ride or something." They're like, "Yeah, like, where are you?" And I'm like, "Wow, they actually like they're they're like they're like they're all the same age. They're like 20, and they all grew up together. So like they're all like siblings in a way, because they all like they all live in the same little town. Like they grew up together, and they all and I'm just looking at the group chat, and I'm like I'm just amazed. Like they're actually like I like I just feel like wow, these people are just gonna be given like relationships that'll probably last for life. Like even if their parents die, my uncles and aunts, because okay, I don't even. they have each other. They're just gonna like, you know what I mean? Like, I
Mhm.
don't have a fucking group chat where I can say, "Hey, um, Nino just dumped me and I'm stranded in Montreal." Like I don't have that. I had to ask you, and you're not even a family, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's like that's how bad it is. The fact that I have to ask a non-family member that I haven't even talked to in like 2 years, and I've only, you know what I mean? That's how lone. Okay, this is how like if, I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying to illustrate how lonely my life is, and how little I'm actually cared for, and how socially unattractive I am. The only relationship I had to, like, ask for help when I was stranded in Montreal, right, was, like, you, and, like, I haven't even known you for more than, like, 4 years at that point, and I didn't even talk to you for 2 years, so it's like, imagine that. And then, meanwhile, my cousins, they're just like, "Oh, I'm stranded in, like, a gas station. Can someone pick me up?" And then the other cousins are like, "Yeah, let me like, where are you? Let me pick you up." And I'm just like, "Oh my god." I have to ask someone like a s like Brandon, and then if he said no, I would have had to probably ask, like, maybe, like, a neighbor, like the person living next door at the Airbnb or something like that, and if they said no, I probably would have tried to go through, like, my Facebook and tried to find someone I didn't talk to for, like, several years or something, just might have like, fuck. I was actually thinking about that, I was like, "You know what? If Brandon doesn't even respond, like, I have to, like, go maybe I have to go ask, like a high school friend that I haven't seen in 10 years. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know if this makes sense. It's like, am I that socially unattractive that, like, I don't have any long-term meaningful relationships? So that's another thing I'm worrying about. I'm like, and then my mom, like, I really just can't deal with this bullshit anymore because I'm like, if I one day when, like, when I'm completely grown and have to be independent, it's just like, well, who is there for me? And I was thinking like, am I supposed to just go back to the Philippines? But even my dad was telling me like, not I don't talk to my dad even regularly, but when I did tell him about this, he was just like, yeah, your uncles and aunts aren't gonna take care of you. I suspect it's probably because he does not have good relationships with them, and secondly because I've only seen my aunts and uncles and like twice in my life when I went back on vacation, and some of them I don't even though I saw them, it was only for like 5 seconds. Because some of them actually don't even wanna talk to, like, my family. I didn't even know they hated, like, my dad and shit, and vice versa. I didn't know they had, like, family drama, okay? But, like and then I was, like, thinking maybe my cousins, but I'm like, I never grew up with these people. I only connected them because my grandpa died, and it's like, "Oh, fuck. I'm actually so screwed, Brandon." Like, there's, like, literally no one. Like, my cousins on my dad's side, I never grew up with them at all. Only saw them a couple like, once or twice. Same with their parents, my aunts and uncles. They don't care about me, and I can't just message them and be like, "Hey, like, can you send me, like, $500 because, like, I don't know, like, my laptop broke." Okay, like, one time in the pandemic too, like, my laptop broke, so I asked my mom for, like, help, and she sent me $500. And like I said with Glenn, like, he's, like, fed me, but I can't even do that with my cousins. Oh, fuck. I don't know. Yeah, so my cousins are gonna be there really long term, like, to, like, help me out, like, just even with daily life, you know what I mean? Like, "Hey, can we, like, go" I don't know, like oh, yeah, this is another thing in the pandemic, like, I need to move. I need and no one helped me move. Okay, I don't know if you like, I made a post, okay, about, like, I need to move apartments. Does anyone have any movers or can help me move? No one responded. And I don't have family, right? Like, I don't have, like, cousins or uncles, and even if I did, we're not close. My parents lived in a different city, and we weren't even talking again. So what I did, Oh wait, you did see both of my apartments. Oh, you did, right? Remember with Jordan, you saw my first apartment?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, you did see my first apartment. Oh, did you realize I moved?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, well, with Jordan, you saw my first apartment, like, just dropped me off. Anyways, during that time in my first apartment, when I need to move to my second apartment, or we got chef on call and ate there, and no one helped me, like family, like I said, cousins and uncles, different country, and we don't even talk, or we never grew up together. Parents, we barely even talk, and they're in a different city anyways. So what I did was I took like a grocery bag, like you know those like grocery like trolleys, or not a trolley, but like it's like one of those. I don't like even okay. I guess homeless people use them a lot. Like it's like a grocery cart. No, not a cart. It's like a grocery wheeler roller. Okay, it looks like a. It kind of looks like a. It's just like a grocery. Like no, it's like a duffel bag on wheels. Like think, but they call it like a grocery whatever. It's like a grocery it's just like a grocery bag on wheels, like a duffel bag on wheels, like a very durable grocery bag on wheels. Anyways, like I mainly moved my stuff and I threw it into that bag with it's like pretty okay. I pretty much took a bag with wheels. It's not really a suitcase, but whatever. The closest thing is like a suitcase. I'll just say I took like a suitcase and stuffed like a bunch of stuff in there regularly, and I walked. I walked 30 minutes. It's like one way 30 minutes. Ah, fuck. It's actually really fucking sad. Let me just take it. It took like 30 minutes to walk with that grocery bag on wheels, the suitcase. And I would unload my stuff in the new apartment. And then I went back again. Obviously, I did this over the span of several days. But eventually, after like maybe like the second week or third week of doing this, of like trying to move my stuff manually by myself, because I don't have a car, I would just put it all in a grocery bag, like in like a suitcase or like a grocery bag on wheels. What is that called, Brandon? Do you know?
No, I don't.
Like the grocery bag on wheels? Okay, I don't even want to search it up, but it's a grocery bag on wheels. I moved it all myself manually. Like, fuck. And then eventually on the second or third week, a bunch of stuff that I couldn't move, I just threw away because I just didn't want to move it, or I left it there. I either threw it away or I left it there. Like, does this make any sense?
Yeah,
Wait, does?
yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, I don't want to keep you up for too long, but yeah, I'm just done with life. Like, is that gonna be my future? I just have to
No,
like
doesn't
move.
have to be.
Yeah, but like, I'm a hard determinist where it's like, what can you really do? Like, with all these constraints, a lot of people have constraints, but anyways, I'm like, if that's one possibility of my future, no matter what I do, like, that's the point I end up in, that's so fucking, like, I have to move my stuff manually 30 minutes one way, and no, like, I'm just doing it on my own. It's just like, fuck. A grocery bag on wheels, like, that's so fucking sad, bro. Yeah, well, actually, with you, when you moved out of your apartment, did your parents take all your stuff? Or you just leave it?
Yeah, no, they help me move everything.
So what happens though in general in the future? Like, who's gonna be there long term? That's why I'm like, you know what? Like, I just don't even like. I can see why people want to just die because it's just like, what the fuck do you like? And you know, when I was dating Nino, I was like, can you help me move my stuff, which he's thrown away? He's like, no. So actually, a lot of my things, like, right now, since I moved back to my parents' home, I either left at my apartment because I just didn't want to take the furniture. It's just like my gaming chair and shit that, like, I don't know if you saw my gaming chair, but like, I'm not moving that. That's like a lot. I don't even have a car. And even so, when Nino kicked me out, all of the shit that I like, all of my stuff, like gaming chair and like desks and stuff that built, in that apartment, I spent a lot of time decorating it and using my salary, blah blah. I'm working for my salary to decorate it. I left it there because it's like I can't move it. And even if I brought it back to my parents' place, like I don't know where I'm gonna put it. Um, oh, and my dogs. I think I told you about this. Like they're gone. So like I don't do drugs, but like man, like like how do people continue existing at this point? Because at each point in your life, or like when shit happens, you have to pivot and like adapt or figure something out. Some people they can't take it anymore, stuff like that. I can't take it anymore, but like I'm just surviving off of like luck right now. But I'm like, wow, I should have been feeling this way at like 12 or 13. I did feel some of this, but like at least back then I was so ignorant. So like I survived like on ignorance. But now it's like I can't even use like youthful idiocy or like ignorance to like deal with my existence. Because now I'm like, no, this is just really fucked up. Like, it's just too much of like no one caring meaningfully long term. My own regrets over what I didn't do. No one telling me what's valuable or guiding me, or just not, or me not even realizing it. And now I'm like, okay, well, not half of my life yet, but like decades of my life are gone. So how do I survive the next couple of decades if I'm still alive? I don't have cousins who are just gonna like pick me up. Like I'm so jealous of the group chat because they're just like they just they just they just help each other. They're just like, yeah, like you can stay over at my house. Like you can we're gonna go like spend Christmas at grandpa's house. Grandpa's dead, but it's like I don't have that shit. And these people are gonna have each other for the rest of their life. Like that's so easy. Imagine like if I had that experience with like my cousins, like going through college and they just have each other. That'd be so fucking easy. I'd just be like, hey everyone, like my does anyone want to like get takeout at my apartment, or like can someone help me move tonight, or like so does anyone want to sleep over, or like do you need does if anyone wants to stay over, and I could ask the same for them, like can I stay over, or can I like, do you want me to help you move? I don't have that. They have that. And I don't, so I don't have cousins or like extended family, and then like I can't rely on like my immediate family forever. So I'm just like, who the fuck, who is there? So that's why I'm like, when Nino actually left me, and still now, I think it's just kind of a huge asshole move. Cause it's like, if you know, like, what am I like, he's not obligated to stay, but like, it's just a fucking asshole move. It's like, no, I'm just gonna put it. It's just a fucking horrible thing to do. It's just like, a lot of people will say like we don't owe indigenous people housing after years of colonization. I do kind of agree. Like no one really owes them anything. Like, our ancestors, even mine. Like I didn't colonize indigenous people in Canada and stuff like that. But like, okay, yeah, they were kind of to get treated like they were treated pretty badly. But and there were a lot of assholes who did a lot of shitty stuff to them. And I'm just thinking about Nino. I'm like, bro, he doesn't owe me anything. He really doesn't. Like, I'm not saying and still now, I'm not gonna tell him like to do something for me, but like, he's just a fucking asshole. That's all I have to say is like, he's just an asshole, Brandon. Like,
He
fuck.
is.
Like he just, you know what he did? He left me. Like, oh well, no one's supposed to stay with you. Like, yeah, but like, he didn't just like leave me. He like he left me in vulnerable situations, and knowing that I would be in a vulnerable situation. So he didn't just leave me in a vulnerable situation. He knew I would like be in a vulnerable situation, and he could have chosen otherwise in some of those cases, but he still didn't. And it's just like he left me in the cold. I left my stuff with him, and some of the stuff I don't really need, but like some of them I do want back, but I'm like, not worth it. But I'm just like, bro, like, okay, if this is how it is, and like with the relationships in life, like things aren't guaranteed, which I've known, well, then who the fuck is gonna be there for me? Like, I see everyone taking risks, starting families, getting married, and I understand, like, they're also taking risks, and they also have uncertain futures. Like, they could get divorced, they could go through custody battles still. But for the moment, that at least for now, that what I'm seeing is they're at least like not dying, and they're at least together. And I'm just wondering, like, well, or even if it's not that, like, even with their careers, like, I'm seeing people with like established careers at this point too. And again, I know they can get laid off. I know the economy can go bad, and a recession could hit their sector. But at least for now, they look like they're gainfully employed. But I'm like, what do I have? Like I don't have any like backing. Like Justin Trudeau, he can get divorced multiple times, but he'll be okay. And it's like, but where do people like me and Uncle Sean go? I'm like, I'm like unwanted. But then I'm like, but even Uncle Sean, like he was like unwanted, but at least he was like kind of wanted enough to like step into a family. He's actually one of the luckier ones in some ways. Because I'm like, a lot of people probably would have just been thrown out in his situation. But I'm like, okay, I guess my status is like lower than someone like Uncle Sean, because like I told you about the cousin. I have a second cousin too. She's not really a blood cousin. She's like a second or third. She's like a half. She's like a half child of like my mom's first cousin. So she's like a half. Okay, technically she's a first cousin once removed. So she's not really even a cousin. Like she's like equivalent in terms of blood relations. She's like equivalent to like a second cousin in terms of like degree of like relationship by blood. And like she has a higher status to me in the family because she's like Uncle Sean. Like an elder in my family was like, "Yo, take care of this girl," and like everyone in the family was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take care of her." And she has like a house and 5 kids because people just fucking give her shit in the family. Like my uncles and aunts and cousins were like closer in blood relation to me, they help her more because of like just because an elder in my family, my grandma, that I didn't really meet, said to take care of her. And then meanwhile there's me, and I don't have a house. I went homeless. I got kicked out. No one visits me. I don't have kids because I can't afford it. Like, why is my status in the family so much lower? Do you see what I mean? It's like, why am I the Uncle Sean? Wait, why is Uncle Sean, like someone like Uncle Sean, but I would say she's even treated better than Uncle Sean. Okay, like, she's like better treated than Uncle Sean, but she's similar to Uncle Sean, but like, like, why is, like, why? And then it's just like they just made this arbitrary choice to help her. Everyone just made this arbitrary choice, like, okay, we'll help her. But then I'm like, but who the fuck was helping me? I paid, how I paid for my education? Student loans. Okay, besides my bankruptcy, the student loan part is actually being taken care of. I had to apply for a special program, but that was actually, now it's being taken care of. But like, no one paid for me, and her college and everything was paid for. People paid for her fucking house, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why is this my existence? I'm just getting old, and like, I don't even have like, it's not even not having material things, but it's just like, why am I being treated like I'm a fucking homeless person? And like, the only difference, okay, what pissed me off about J.K. Rowling is J.K. Rowling was like, oh, I'm like as poor as I was when she broke up with her ex or something, she was as poor as like someone could be without in modern day Britain without being homeless. And then I saw a documentary of her in her flat that she lived in with her daughter or something when she was like going through separation. And don't get me wrong, divorce and separation can really be horrible, and it really is. But she lived in, okay, her flat had like 3 bedrooms, and like it was a nice flat in like central London. And I'm like, meanwhile, I'm like couch surfing. I don't have family videos because I have like lack of tech access, knowledge, and also just like no one's like giving me like regular access to technology like phones and computers and stuff like that. And I don't even have a kid by now. Like, what the fuck? And then people like like my cousin, like, well, not even my cousin, but like that, she's like my second cousin or whatever. They have, like, a house with 5 kids, and people just pay for them still. She's, like, almost fucking 40, Brandon, and it's like, she it probably is wait, she is probably 40, she's, like, and they're just giving her shit. Like, they're paying for her groceries and house and stuff like that, and it's like, who the fuck is helping me? Like, and I'm gonna turn 30. I want a kid too, and I at least want, okay, even if I don't have a kid, can I at least be taken care of like Uncle Sean? Like, where I'm not gonna die on the streets. And no! Because if like when Neo kicked me out, there was no one there. Even my parents were like about to abandon me. Oh, fuck. Even my parents were just about to fucking abandon me. Like, I'm just done. Like, like I don't know if you've heard about Taylor Chase. He's like homeless and stuff. Oh my god. I was gonna go through that because like my parents were just gonna be like, no, I'm sorry, like we can't do anything anymore. Like, don't want to support like another adult child, and it's but no one is helping me. Like, my parents have arbitrarily chosen among their children to help my oldest brother. Okay, so in terms of spoiledness, my oldest brother is the most spoiled. The second one is like moderately spoiled. My dad's just like giving my brother like a free house like when he dies or something like that. Anyways, whatever. Like, my first brother, even like he doesn't really actually have to work. Like, all the money that he's making, I found out, is just going into, like, my dad, and my dad's just gonna give him all that money after he, okay, long story short, after, like, my dad, like, does some stupid shit with his investments or something, he's just gonna give all my brother all the money that my brother like, gave him for rent, like, he's just give it back to my brother. So he's not really even paying rent to my dad, and I'm like, "Wait, so I paid for rent and everything, no one's gonna give me back my money for my rent." My second brother was like, okay, like he's like moderately spoiled, I would say, but like he at least like I don't know the details. Maybe he actually everything, but like at least he like at least like he moved out and he's like he has his own mortgage and he's like doing everything mostly on his own with his wife or something like that. I don't know. Whatever. But then I'm just like, so even within my immediate family, like at least my second brother, like for both of them though, they my parents didn't kick them out. I was the only one who they kicked out as like at like 18. And it's like, ah, fuck. Like now I'm just almost 30. Like seriously, like who's fucking gonna take care of me? Like I've been surviving on my own. Like usually I would say like, oh, you're just being dramatic when you say that. No, I've been surviving on my own. Like for like a mixture of reasons. Lack of family support, a divided family, living in like different countries, my immediate family just not wanting to support me. Like, so who is gonna be there for me? Like every day, like I wake up and I'm just like, is this the day I have to figure out how the fuck? Is this the day where like, um, I go homeless because like as my I haven't figured anything out yet. Like, is it today? Is it tomorrow? Because it's like I've gone homeless multiple, like not only I've gone homeless for like 2 to 3 days, and it just keeps. It's like a fucking cycle, Brandon. When I was 18, I got kicked out. Almost went homeless, but I had to sign an emergency lease. And then when I went off to do my master's, almost went homeless there too because I couldn't pay rent for a bit. Until like I eventually paid, but then like I couldn't for a bit, so I had to couch surf with other graduate students. And then I go back to Montreal. No one was gonna help me move, and my lease was ending. So um, I don't know, like all those like how am I supposed to move from one apartment to the other apartment? Like, and then Nino kicked me out, homeless again. It's just like a cycle. Like I'm looking back at my life, I'm like 18, okay, kicked out, almost homeless, and then almost went homeless again during college when I couldn't pay, then almost went homeless when I was doing my master's, then Nino kicked me out. I'm just fucking done. Like this is why I feel like people make a video essay on YouTube saying like, "Ah," no, don't laugh. I'm not laughing because it's funny, but it's more like just to relieve myself of the pain. It's like I just want to go on YouTube and be like, okay, I'm tired of this bullshit. This is my life. Peace out, world. Because it's like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? Like, have I been so. Did I do anything so bad? Like, and sometimes I just wonder, is this gonna be the last time I talk to even someone like Brandon? Like, what if Brandon dies? Or, like, what if, like, I go homeless or, like, I just can't even pay my phone bill anymore? Like, is this it? Like, is this another. And you know what pisses me off? It's like, cause like I'm Filipino, right? Like I'm a girl, I'm Filipino, and you know how like black people have stereotypes. Oh, okay. I'm actually like I'm not like laughing. It's more like I'm actually like in pain, but I'm just trying to like not feel it. You know how black people have like stereotypes, like oh they're dumb or like Arabs or like Indian telephone scammers. Well, I found recently like there's like a stereotype against my person. My there's a, oh yeah, there's also another stereotype, right? That women are just like they just like rely on like other people and stuff, right? And like that's what and anyways, those are negative stereotypes, making people not want to help, right? Oh, because like black people are all criminals, or like women, they just like are too dependent, or like, Arabs like bomb people. But I'm just like, but what if you actually aren't the stereotype? Like, what if you actually are like one of those women who just like, who was like super independent, who was not really super independent, but like at least tried much more to be independent and was independent in their life. And when you need help, no one wants to help you simply because they assume you've been dependent on your life because you're a woman. You know what I mean? Or like maybe like you're an actually good like colored person, right? But no one wants to help you because they assume you like killed a bunch of people. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just like I'm like, well, what I found when I tried to reach out for help for some people, like okay, Ren, I was telling you about like he was like a friend. He was like, oh, like yeah, you women, you're just horrible. You just like you're taught to be like completely like like useless and just like do nothing, and I'm just like, bro, like maybe that is true for like a lot of them, but like no, like there are exceptions obviously, but it's like, I mean, you saw me at McGill, like I had a fucking like job, like, and you know how hard it is to get to like to McGill? You must know. And it's just like, and then like to say like, to tell me like that I have done nothing in my life. He was telling me this, like, oh, you're just a girl, you just do nothing, and like, because he was telling me like, oh, like you just want now you like like why are you like even like saying this about your life? Like you're just a girl and you just do nothing, like do something, and it's just like, bro, I've been doing stuff my whole life. And like I think it's, and the fact that I even got to McGill was like the level of like no one giving a shit about me or like helping me that much. It really just like, and for him to tell me that, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, you know how many obstacles, like everyone has obstacles, but like I felt like I had to like jump over like 60 off, like 6 times. Like, I don't want to do the oppression Olympics, but like, what the fuck? I feel like if I would have a gold medal on the, oh, anyways, he was just telling me like, um, stop acting oppressed, something like that. And it's like some people, yeah, I can see that like they might be acting oppressed, but like other people truly are oppressed. Like when you actually talk to them and get to know them, and like, anyways, like similar to like you, like you're like oppressed in some, there are people have invisible disadvantages, and my invisible disadvantage is no one gives a fuck about me. And it's a huge one. It's like you have your own individual invisible disadvantages. I do too, and it's just like, but mine is just like, it's like survival disadvantage. Like at least if you're like, you know, fat or like people complain about like their disadvantages in other ways, like maybe like they're stupid or they don't have like a good family, all these things. But at least for some of them, like, because I've seen some people like where they talk about like, oh, I'm struggling in school, like, and I'm like not really that smart, or like, and some people actually wrote on Quora that they're like they're mentally retarded. So and they struggle with that every single day because like they know they're mentally retarded and they still have to exist. Well, like my disadvantage is like, yeah, no one gives a fuck about me. At least for some of these people, I was thinking, wait, they might actually be able to survive though because people care about them. Like I've seen like mentally retarded people with like good family members. I've seen people who are extremely ugly who get married and they're still like people care about them. But for me, no one gives a shit. So like I could die or like I could go hungry, no one would help me. And then all these other people, like, yeah, they have disadvantages. And I'm not saying their life is, I'm not saying like, oh, their life they should just suck it up or like they should just like move on with their life. But it's like, but at least for you guys, you can survive. Like I remember Elliot Rodger, he was like crying about being a virgin. Like, okay, you know what? It is hard to be a virgin in your 20s because when I was also like wondering about my virginity loss, like it was causing me pain. So I'm not saying like he should just suck it up and move on that he hasn't had sex at age 22 and he's crying about it. That is hard. But I'm like, for him, he could survive because I found out for him, his dad was like a director in Hollywood or some shit like that. And so he wasn't gonna die. Like he had like, he, but I don't even have that. And it's like multiple times in my life, I've been struggling with homelessness and wondering how I'm gonna feed myself. Like, and I'm still wondering, like every day, like I said, like today I was wondering, like I woke up again, I'm like, this is the last day. Is this gonna be another day where I worry about my homelessness? Am I gonna be like, anyways, I'll just like end the phone call here because I don't want to talk your ear off. But yeah, it's just like maybe tomorrow again, I'll probably like wonder if I'm gonna be homeless. But I hope you take care. Good night, Brandon.
Okay, good night.